Hi everyone, and welcome to another tech demo. As you can see, we are on YouTube. You can find us on Verz Online, and it's been a while. The first demo we did was nearly 3 years ago, which is a bit embarrassing, but hey. And then we did another one a few months later, but that's also more than 2 years ago already. So we thought it'd be a good time to record something new and show you that we are live and kicking and a lot of progress has been made. But first, let's have a look at what we've done before. Okay, so this was February 2022, and I just wanted to go through this quickly to show you how far we've come in the meantime. So this was the first screen. You're going to make a character here, and this is what it looked like. There we go. You see it was a bit slow at the time as well. And you have all the information here of the character. You pick a character. At the time, we let you customize your character profile. That has changed a bit. We've now made that a random generator. And then this was the navigation screen. You see this is a pile of gobbledygook for development purposes. But this is what it looked like. Pretty basic menu, navigation screen. We had a bit of a log down here, which we currently don't have, but that will come back. You see buildings. There was only one building or two buildings. The ships look pretty basic. Let's have a look. You see stuff wasn't really cut off correctly. The eater or whatever we call it was very shoddy, very quickly done. So you see like all these straight lines. We did have wormholes at the time, which we haven't got back yet. We're currently testing in one sector, so that's changed. But we already had bigger planets, for instance. What else do we have? I think that's about it. Okay, so on to the next demo. And then we were in our second demo, November 2022, so 10 months later. The beginning of the platform, or the login screen, stayed the same, character creation stayed the same. But as we start flying around, you see this is a big change. We have this what is here screen, which shows you what planet you're on, if there's a ship or ships, the resources, etc. So then as we fly around further, you see everything looks so much better. The nebula looks amazing. The Eater looks polished now. And you also see, for instance, here different kinds of ore. We also see our first few aliens here. Currently, we have a few pirates in the system just to test, but we took all the aliens out essentially. They'll come back in the next 1 or 2 months. But it looks much better already. However, you see still a very basic UI. So let's get cracking on our new demo.
So start here. Everyone knows my username now. The first thing we want to go through is going to be character creation. If you were with us years ago, you might remember a slightly different one. We've simplified it down a bit so that it's a little more streamlined, a little less overwhelming, and we can kind of release other features with it down the line. So as player, you'll have options for the 4 races. You'll notice it later on, but we have a much more consistent and sleek UI throughout. So yeah, excited to show some of that. But let's just start with a Verzui. Each race will give you a bit of their background character info, which is nice. And then you can kind of cycle through a couple randomly generated portraits until you find one you like. Let's go with this one. Give yourself your name. What's a topical name these days? Relevant name. relevant ship. And of course, multiple ships, you could name them. Da, 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 da. This is just to get started. So you'll be put on one of our starting homeworlds. And before we even take our first flight, a couple things to call out. Like we said, hey, that UI is a little more consistent. We see consistent theme design. You can change your zoom as you like. You got your grid coordinates around. A couple small things to call out. So the surveyor, a friend has arrived. The surveyor will show you your predicted path, and you can toggle between a 1-click and a 2-click. So you can say, oh, okay, there you go. Just a small usability feature, just so you don't actually end up stepping on something you shouldn't. And let's follow this drifter. As we move leftward, you'll notice that we have a mini map here on the left side that kind of shows where you are with this crosshair, roughly. Is it perfect? No, but it gives you a really good idea of the layout of the space you're in and your position in that space relative. So let's go towards that star in the middle and see what we can find as we're being pursued by another person. So we're getting closer to the star, and I want you all to pay attention to this area down here, charge. As you get closer to a star, you can actually fly on top of them and not blow up, which is nice. Local objects, star, ran. But this antimatter charge area has been increasing. So one of the fun things we've got already is just the ability to gain more or less energy based on proximity to your star. A small realism detail, which we're really excited about. And so as we move away from the star, we'll see that that charge decreases. We'll find another heavily settled planet, actually. So let's land over here so we can see the surveyor shows what's on our hovered tile here on the left-hand side. And then our local objects shows us where we're at. So you can interact with a ship, you can interact with the planet. I'm cleared to dock here, which is nice. What other parts of the UI should we go through?
Shall we have a little fight?
Yes, I've been challenged to a duel in this tanker of a ship. So coming here, I'll interact, local objects, initiate attack. So let me move this so I can see this better. This will be the combat window. You see who you're in combat with and against. And you've got some abilities and a timer. So you have to pick pretty quick. Don't tell him, but I'm gonna play it a little defensively. Oh, I got blown up completely. How's that? How's that? I did not get, even with my booster, even with my defensive abilities, I still just got melted because he landed the target lock. Classic. So I've been defeated. Obviously, at this phase, there's not a lot of pain associated with defeat, blessedly. But I am back to my homeworld where I started, and with my shield values completely depleted. So let's visit the hangar. Actually, no, I think I have to dock for this. Dock, repair. Right now it's just a blanket repair, but long term, obviously, we'll have the ability to repair pieces individually and see the cost for the associated repair. Okay, now let's fly circuitously to not get ambushed. I can hardly call that a duel. It's very one-sided. We got some people building over here, so small little things taking shape, which will be really nice. And I think those are the main bits to call out. We've got some placeholders for other things, whatever the case may be. Oh, that's another thing. On this screen, you can see resource down here at the bottom, and it'll tell you the values of each field. This will be really helpful if you're looking to find an optimal spot for harvesting of something. You can do it with antimatter charge energy, chemicals, which only exist in nebulas here, and then ores, visible there. Helpful to see that. Are there any tiles where there's going to be duplicates? No. Anyway, turn that off. And then movement costs is another overlay you can see, just so you can get the sense of how much does it cost me to move through this tile. 12 is a blanket space. As I was saying, you'll notice some of these movement values are a little variable, although they might look similar. Just to reiterate, movements calculate based on how much of a certain thing is in that tile. So you'll see this one is a fringe of dark aether, but it's a small fringe. So it's a smaller movement cost than a half or 3/4 fringe. You can think of them in quarters. And so you'll see some tiles even like here, asteroid and aether fringe, high movement cost. Ooh, there it goes. There's the quarter view I mentioned. So you can see 33333, 3337, etc. Or toggle that off. So just some starting the baseline with usable things. Quality of life bits. Yeah. Hopefully, speaking about coming ones, we're wanting to get a more filled out combat video involving some NPCs. So we can show off, obviously, not getting destroyed by Wout in one go. Some cool multi-party combat, teasing that, and some other sectors. Till then, hope you enjoyed this and fly safely.